Hello, my name is Hallie and I love books, and that's why I started this booktube channel. I've always loved books and I've always been told I talk too much, so why not combine the two and talk too much about books? Girl, yeah, that was cheesy. Anyways, let's start because I have this little script on the side because I want to be organized since I am organized. I mean, you can obviously tell by my bookshelf in the back. Obviously. Okay. So I'm so excited to embark on this journey of books. I might edit this out later. Let's see, because it sounds boring. And I'm just gonna be talking about my favorite genres since it's my first video. And I'm gonna talk about the last book that I read and then like some of my favorite tropes. But that won't be till the end because I know y'all love that stuff. Anyways. Okay. So I'm gonna divide this into like different segments, and you guys are just I'm gonna edit this later so it'll look nicer, but to me right now it just looks like compiled together. But okay, so first I'm gonna start with my favorite fantasy, which has to be without a doubt The Cruel Prince. You guys, this book is so good. This book is like the bomb. Okay, and the enemies to lovers, of course, is great because who doesn't like a little enemies to lovers? Jude and Carden, little enemies to lovers. And this is true enemies to lovers too, not that fake crap, who I'm not naming any books out here, Lightlark, but like these books will have like in one book they'll get together and then break up. And then there's supposed enemies to lovers. Fourth wing. But this is actual enemies to lovers. 3 books of pining. But this takes place in like a not dystopian. What am I talking about? Fantasy world where fairies and humans exist but not coexist. So they live on different sides, and it's not like ACOTAR where like humans have knowledge of fairies. It's quite opposite. Humans don't know about fairies and they're kind of hidden in this world. And it takes place where in fairyland where a girl named Jude gets stolen away to fairy. She gets taken away to fairy by her adoptive father, her older sister's biological father, and her sister Taryn and her older sister, I'm pretty sure her name is Vivian, get taken away to fairy and by her biological father, who himself is a fairy. And there's a bunch of rules and it's like political intrigue, and she just meets a whole bunch of people, and it's that good. It really is that good. So please check it out. It's so good. And it follows her really trying to figure out this whole political mess. Sorry, my phone just dinged. Trying to figure out this whole political mess and just come out on top. And the main character, Jude, she is so just amazing. Like, she's smart and like she has obvious faults, so she's not like 100% femme fatale, which I love in a main character. I cannot tell you how much I love that. So yeah, this is a good book. This is a very good book. I highly recommend. It's my favorite. Okay, next we're gonna do favorite mystery / thriller. Hold on, I'll edit this out for a second. Okay, I'm back. I forgot to get a mystery / thriller. Let me scoot in. Okay, next we're gonna hold on. Okay, we're doing favorite mystery / thriller, and I have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Okay, let me tell you how I was sleeping on this book. Okay, I was sleeping so hard, and I hate these little like on their book stickers. It's so annoying. Okay, go. Sorry, go. I was sleeping on this book so hard. I was sleeping. I saw it on Book Talk everywhere, and everyone was talking about how good it was. But tell me why this is such an insanely good book. I mean, I could predict the ending. I'm not gonna spoil it. I could predict. Okay, maybe I'm gonna spoil it. Spoiler alert. Big red flag banner here. Spoiler alert. I could tell it was her sister, but I couldn't tell that it was like. I couldn't tell that. I couldn't tell that Sal had been murdered by the teacher. That did not come in my head at all. But like Pip, I really like her as like a Nigerian girly. Like I feel like there are elements of this book that I'm like, yes, Nigerian. That's a Nigerian daughter. But also like Pip is such a good like detective. It's giving Nancy Drew vibes, and I love it. I just love it. And it's such a good book, and I have not gotten around to reading the rest of the series. I don't know. And you guys tell me to read it, I probably will. I mean, I'm not that hard to convince. But yeah, so good. And Ravi, excuse me. But yeah, so good. Literally so good. I love Pip and Ravi. I think they're cute. And to all the haters hating on the new Ravi, excuse me. Sorry, I had to take out my trash. Hating on the new Ravi, what are you doing with your life? Okay, that man is fine. I don't know what y'all talking about. Anyways, okay, let's move on to the next. Because y'all saw me just throw my book down. Okay. Alright. So then we're gonna move on to my favorite romance, which I'm really actually pretty excited to talk about this because I only read this book last year. And I'm really into romance, but like not too hard, if you know what I mean. Like I'm into romance in like as a subplot. So it's kind of like it takes a lot for me to get really into a book that's just romance and like not get the ick. But this book did it perfectly while being funny. It is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. This, hold on, let me not like, because the flashlight's here. This is a jewel of a book. Let me just say that again. This is a jewel of a book. I have never laughed so hard, felt so bad. It felt just amazing about a book. It makes high school, like I'm thinking back to my high school experience, it makes high school look so much better in the end. And it follows a girl named Elizabeth, and her enemies to lovers, kind of Wes, but they're more like friends in my opinion. And they just like go through this cute journey because she has a crush on this guy who came back to her school after a while, and she wants Wes, this guy right here who's holding her up, to take her to parties and like basically fake date her so that she could get this guy's attention. And through this whole process, they just like come close together, and they just start liking each other. But I think it's a jewel book. It is so good, y'all. Amazing, so good. It's funny, it's relatable, and it's a bit sad because, well, you'll find out why. But I highly recommend this book. 10 out of 10. Okay, next. Edit Hallie here, forgot to say, but it has really cute rom-com entries at the beginning of every chapter. So cute. Check it out, please. Sci-fi. My favorite sci-fi book has to be this. Flowers for Algernon. See? And here's the weird thing about this book though. I've never finished it. And listen to me, it's not because it's bad. It's just made me cry so hard. And I felt so, I don't know, just so sad. I was recommended this book actually by my 8th grade teacher, and we did like a whole short story on it, but it's so good. Please watch it. It is so good. Watch the movie. It's not a long one, so you won't be bored. Read the book. It's like diary entries of this man who gets a procedure to basically gets smarter. And I think it's sci-fi. The world building isn't exactly sci-fi, it's like regular world, but the depictions of the events are, I guess. The procedures that he gets are sci-fi, because that can never happen, really. So it's this man who does journal entries, and he progressively gets smarter, because he's kind of not smart in the beginning. When I mean not smart, I mean like kind of clinically not smart. And so as he goes through these journal entries, he gets smarter and smarter and gets really, really smart until he hits a point. And I'm not going to spoil it to you then, because it gets sad. But I really need to finish this because it's so sad. But it's so good at the same time. Please read it, please. Okay, and then next, my favorite classic. Next is classic. Favorite classic, Emma by Jane Austen. Look, I got this at Half Price Books. By the way, support Half Price Books, because Barnes & Nobles is too expensive. Anyways, I got this at Half Price Books because it was like $2, and I loved Pride and Prejudice. I thought it was so witty and so funny and hilarious, and I love Mr. Bingley with all my heart and Mr. Darcy. But that's another point. I love this so much, in my opinion, so much better than Pride and Prejudice, because the main character, Emma, is so flawed. Like Elizabeth, she's like, I don't know, I feel like she's a bit put on a pedestal because she's kind of like the perfect heroine, but Emma is so flawed, and you can see that. And I don't know, I really like Mr. Knightley and the way that she changes. I don't know, Jane Austen is always, she's a genius in my opinion. So good, so good, so good. And the character progression, the character building, it's just out of this world. Okay, next, favorite supernatural. Okay, this is gonna be a little basic. It's gonna be a little basic, but Twilight, y'all. The classics never go wrong. So good, y'all. So good, so good, so good. So good. And you know what? I don't mind. You know, I'm not ashamed of reading this, and I'm not ashamed of rewatching Twilight every time it starts to get gloomy. So good. So good. I'm gonna move on. Kind of ashamed. Okay. Let's see. Favorite comedy. And this one is a classic, y'all. This one is a classic. This one is a classic. A classic. If you do not read this, then it's Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. This is insane. This had me wishing I was in Singapore. This had me so freaking mad at Nick. But I'm not getting in there. Nicholas Young, but I'm not getting there. So good. The world building, the characters, the way I was like aghast at some of the like, and this is like, it's not inspired by a true story, but like it's inspired by, you know, actual like rich people in Singapore. So good. Like, these people are crazy rich. And it just like brings you to another world. And the story is really nice. And it's so witty and so funny. Like, it's hilarious. These people are actually insane. By the way that they spend money, I've never imagined. Please watch. It's so good. If you watch the movie, read the book. It's 1,000 times better. It really is. I highly recommend this. Like, because if you're a book reader, you know that it's more detailed. And sometimes movies leave things out because they can't have them all in once. Read this. It's so good. And it's part of a trilogy too, so there's more. Also, Astrid, I Love You. Moving on. Favorite dystopian. Also really, really basic. Hold on. The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. She's a genius. There's nothing more I can say. I honestly think that The Hunger Games is going to be, like, looking back on it in the future, this is going to be one of the things we call a classic. Then we're going to go to favorite sport. I really do love this, and I feel like this is underrated, and I love this author. This is by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Carrie Soto is back. Y'all need to read this. I don't know what y'all are on, but y'all need to read this. I got this last year for my birthday. Phenomenal. It was worth the buy. It was $14 worth the buy. It's phenomenal. This is phenomenal. Okay? This is about a tennis player named Carrie Soto, and she's going back into the game after so many years of being out to try and win another Grand Slam. And because somebody has already, tied her or overcome her in the amount of Grand Slams. So she's going back to try and win it. And it's so good. It's phenomenal. The only thing that I really just didn't vibe with was the romance. I mean, I thought it was okay, but I didn't think that there needed to be any. This is such a good book, though. It is so good. And I feel like Taylor Jenkins Reid makes so many good books, but only 3 of hers right now. But this one is so good, and this is a newer one. And also, I have a collection of her books over there. She's a phenomenal writer. I don't know why people and she does so many good things with realistic fiction, and it makes me cry every time. So check it out. Actually really good. And it's kind of if you really like Challengers, you should read this. You should really read this. Challengers, read it. So lastly, I will be talking about the series that I will be starting on this channel. And I'm saying it like this because I'm kind of afraid to start it, because I've started it, I think now 4 or 5 times, but I have not finished it. I've only been on the first book, and that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I've audiobooked it many times. I've read it online many times, and I couldn't stick to it. I don't know what was in my blood. I couldn't stick to it. Now I'm officially starting it on paperback to see if I can stick to it finally. Hopefully I can, because if I can't, it's gonna piss me off. I really, really want to hear or read about this series. I've heard really great things about it. I just can't stick to it. Hopefully through this journey with y'all, I don't know, summon the willpower? I don't know. I don't really like it that far. It's not giving what I thought it would be. I've read ACOTAR, and I don't know. I kind of like it, but I don't. It's me and big fantasy books that really are just hidden romance books don't vibe well. I don't like Fourth Wing, and I don't like ACOTAR, but I kind of like it. But I definitely don't like Fourth Wing. So we're gonna try, because I heard this is less romance, more girl boss, and I love girl boss. There's something I can constantly say I love. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening to me talk and yap about books. I also really like K-dramas, a lot. My favorite is Reply 1997. Yes, Reply 1997. It's my favorite K-drama. And right now I'm watching Atypical Family. I just got finished with Queen of Tears. So good. So good. And I'm also watching Lovely Runner. I know everyone loves that. I think it's amazing too. But Atypical Family is right now my main one, and I eat that stuff up. I eat it every day. And I'm very, very excited for next week, because it updates every Saturday and Sunday. That's it. If you guys want to talk about anything, your favorite book, comment. If you have any ideas or anything you guys want me to review, any book you want me to read, or any suggestions for how to really get into Throne of Glass, let me know, because I really need it. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good night. Bye.